So I thoroughly enjoyed the Great War Separation #1, and issue #2 came out a lot sooner than I thought it would, and I was there for day 1. Now, like I said in my previous video, issue 2 did not disappoint at all. I would say it's even better than the first issue. Now let's go ahead and go through it now, shall we? On the very first page, we see Mama Silman with little Avery in Flores Park, Texas, and they're going through a photo album at Avery's aunt's house. It's a nice moment, but at the time of my first reading, I was thinking, are we going to see Avery unlock his powers as a kid? Turns out he was about to find out a big secret, but we'll get there. We finally get Operation Resolute Fist's first mission, called Operation Loggerhead. The mission is to fly a B-2 bomber over the capital of Texas, and instead of sending ordnance, the United States dropped exceps. Bullets started flying from the Texan army, and fortunately for Texas, these exceps were careless and didn't know how to work as a team, so they couldn't coordinate their attack on the capital. But there was this one except who was able to get to Governor Sanders' office. Now it's just too bad that this except underestimated the governor and ended up getting shot in the face with 2 revolvers. The attack on the capital ultimately failed and the excepts got arrested. And how could we forget about Zeno in Southern Texas? Now in the last video I said he's a shapeshifter, but from what I can see, he can make contact with you by just stabbing you with his own hand. Similar to Mr. Fantastic, he can stretch out his arm, but I assume it's, it's to an extent, right? I don't think he can stretch out like 200 yards or something like that. But also he can transfer the other person's clothes onto him without actually taking off any clothes. At least that's how I took it from when I read issue #1 and 2. Now the thing with Zeno is that they are building him up. That's why we don't see much of him now. Most likely it's because he'll be probably fighting Solari on either issue 3 or 4, maybe both. Now if that's the case, can't wait to see that. Now up north with the President of the United States, they're trying to figure out plan B. The president is talking to the folks in the Middle East about wanting to disable Texas oil production infrastructure since Texas has become self-sufficient. The Arabs let the president know pretty much, what if someone were to sabotage their oil output, then maybe they wouldn't continue with their rebellion. The president chooses Flores Park, Texas as his target. Back with Governor Sanders, he realizes that they must recruit exceps to fight this war against the United States. But unfortunately, it's not like they had a lot of options, since many exceps are either in prison, mental homes, or in plain sight making money doing party tricks. Fortunately for Texas, doctors in A&M were making progress in a program that showed potential into turning normal folks into exceps, and Solari arrived just in time for Governor Sanders to give him the opportunity to lead the team. The way it works is that these doctors test and vet thousands of people to see if their genetic markers make them a good candidate for the program. The ones selected go through a series of therapies designed to enhance latent abilities hidden in the genome. They look for exceptional factors in their DNA and flip them from off to on. The regimen begins with Solari entering a pod numerous times and gets hit with a mixed array of ions. Oh, and this will be painful. This is why Solari volunteers to go first. Like I said in the previous video, Solari is someone who will not tell his fellow soldiers to do anything he wouldn't do himself. Solari then begins developing his powers, and after Brian is successful, the recruits then go in one by one and begin developing their powers as well. Up north in Washington, they regrouped and recruited new exceps after that failure of an assault in Austin, and gave these new exceps an upgrade to help them out. The United States launches Operation Stranglehold, which consisted of cruisers launching subsonic missiles from the Gulf to Texan airspace toward refinery sites. Some of these missiles landed at their targets, some were shot down, and one just got scratched just enough to land near little Avery Silman in Flores Park. Curiosity got the best of Avery and his friend and decided to check it out. But what was inside of some of these missiles? Well, except in enhanced suits. What they wanted was to reduce collateral damage, that way they didn't have to deal with damaged goods after they forced Texas to surrender. This became Solari's team's first mission. A battle begins as the cocky speedster thinks she's indestructible being an Accept, but quickly learns not to celebrate early. Luckily for her, Brian comes in and saves her from getting killed and beats the hell out of the enemy combatant. Avery and his friend arrive at where the missile crashed and notice the Accept in the suit, at which point the Accept attacks the kids. The boys begin to run away and bump into Avery's mother. She tells them to go home. The Accept is walking towards them and Avery's mom does not look worried, not one bit. Back with Solari's team, they're still engaging the threats. Chip Salazar, one of Solari's men who can attack by sending energy blasts, thinks they have defeated an enemy combatant, but oh, they were wrong. The Accept that was inside the suit they were fighting was a scientific anomaly called Absolute. Absolute unfortunately ends up killing Chip Salazar, but like everyone else, they must have a weakness. For Absolute, it was water. Going back to Avery's mother, the Accept begins shooting at her, but turns out she is an Accept as well, and beats the crap out of the enemy, sending him flying across the street. And it is at this point that Avery is hiding in the bed of a pickup, and the Accept makes impact on the truck, causing Avery to jump. Avery's mom runs toward Avery and then gets smashed right in front of him with that same pickup by the enemy Accept. And this is where Avery's powers get unlocked and begins fighting the Accept, whose name, by the way, is Newt. Avery does what he can, but Newt gets a hold of him, but fortunately for Avery, his mama gets uplifted in the pickup truck and throws it at Newt and eventually defeats him. Now, 3 of the last 4 pages are my favorite part of this book. The governor gives an inspiring, uplifting speech as we cut back and forth from the battle that took place earlier to his speech. This is how some of the speech goes. We have weathered the storm today, as we have weathered them before, but there will be more storms coming as the skies darken to the north, and we will weather them too. There have been losses, there has been pain, there is more to come, and though the cost will be high, we know it to be worth the price. Will all of us, everyone, be home again soon? Now this scene might be my favorite part from all Rippaverse books. Like, it was just so good, in my opinion at least. Now the first read when it came to Chip Salazar's death, it didn't really hit me because we didn't really get, much with the guy. I think I remember seeing him say a line somewhere. The second reading though, during that speech, man, that hit me this time around, but I completely understand if it didn't work for you. I can honestly say I love this book. The moments of levity in it worked. It's nice having some humor that works. But we can't forget about the last page. Zeno is now in a convertible about to enter Austin, Texas, where the governor is at, and we are left with to be continued. Now today when I'm recording this, we finally got the announcement for the Great War Separation issue number 3, and I am so pumped for this. I know this miniseries is only going to be 4 issues, and man, I have been having a blast. Everyone has done a great job, and it feels so good to be enjoying this ride. If you are still here watching the video at the very end, I do appreciate it. I believe the next book I'll be talking about, I believe it's going to be Catch and Kill. So that'll be the next one, and I will see you guys on the next video. Y'all take care now. Bye.